About a month ago, I found a guy from my chemistry class that wanted to become friends with me. Truthfully, I thought he was kind of a jerk, and I didn't really like him all that much. But he had sent me a friend request online, so I accepted it. I mean, it's not like I was going to go and say no. I didn't want to be rude, and especially could have gotten awkward at school. Even if he told his friends, who were also just my friends online. I didn't want to go lose any friends. Laura faces her problem of invisibility to her so-called friends that causes her to make a decision that could either be life-changing or life-taking. In 368 Friends by Bradley Wallen. There was this play that we had read in English class, which I found kind of funny because it was actually a French play that had been translated into English. It was called No Exit by a guy named Jean-Paul Sartre. It was about these three people who had died and gone to hell. Only there was no fire or brimstone or really anything like that. It was these three people locked in a room, and basically, they didn't like each other. So that was their hell. At least, that's what the teacher told us. I had to take her word for it. All I got out of it was, there's three people in a room and it's kind of boring. But whenever I actually thought back on what the teacher had told me, it made me feel good about what I really had. I had friends. I had lots of them. When I started to feel down about myself, I could go and I could pull it up on the computer. I had 368 friends. 368. It was hard to wrap my head around, because when I was little, this tall, it didn't seem like I had any friends. And then when I got older, my parents got me my own computer, and I started networking. And it was like a whole new world just opened up to me. There was this guy named Steven. I really, liked him. But I never could talk to him. I started searching to see who else was online when I got my account set up. My stomach just did a flip when I saw Steven's name. This was it. This was my chance to actually connect with him. It was just with the click of a button. It's actually the hardest time I've ever had clicking a button. I stared at the computer screen for about a half an hour with my finger on the mouse. Finally, somehow, I did it. I had sent the friend request. It was the greatest feeling in the world. I felt like that little kid at the circus who was just begging for the big cotton candy and got the biggest one on the rack. So, with the new boost in my confidence, I sent off another friend request to another person that I knew from school. About an hour later, I had a second new friend, and I kept on firing them off. After a while, I even had people sending me friend requests. Lots of them were people that I didn't even know, but they were friends of my other friends. That was okay, right? I don't know what made me start to notice it, though. Maybe actually things weren't the way that I thought. Maybe it was just sitting by myself at lunch, watching Steven and his friends, just noticing how they just didn't even seem to notice me. Or how whoever sat next to me on the bus, normally somebody was my friend online, how we actually had nothing to say to each other. And I'd go home and I would look at that number, and somehow it just wasn't making me feel any better. So, I clicked on the tab to update my status, and I typed in that I was sad. There's no need to write a book. I mean, that's just, I'm sad. And I waited for people to respond. And nobody did. And I went to bed after a while, and I was I checked it again in the morning and there was still no responses. I tried not to let it get to me, but still, it kind of did. And after a while, the days would just go by and I decided that I was going to go on again. I went on again and I typed in that I was depressed. I waited for 4 hours. There was just nothing. I went to school thinking that maybe someone would have said something to me. And nobody even said anything. Didn't anyone even notice? Didn't anyone see my post? The way I was slouching, avoiding eye contact, the way I barely even touched my lunch. Didn't anyone even care? So, that night, I went and I typed in that I was thinking about killing myself. Just let it slide by and nobody even said anything. A new guy from art class had even added me. My number was up to 369. And nothing. So, about 2 hours ago, I posted that I was going to go to the playground 2 blocks from at the park, 2 blocks from my house, that I'm just going to sit at the base of the slide and swallow a bottle of pills. To my mild surprise, 3 of my friends actually joined in, telling me not to do it and things would get better. But no one actually called my house, even though my number was listed on my profile. It's 10:02 now. I'm the only one here.